Hey everybody, Mr. Richards here, and I'm going to walk you through Lesson 3, Drawing in Game Lab. Now the first couple activities in Lesson 3 are all about exploring how the drawing works and how our coordinate plane works. So these instructions are very simple. Look at the line of code in the workspace and then discuss what you think will happen. So we've got this line of code that is rect 100, 100. And that draws a rectangle at the coordinates 100 and 100 for the x and y. So I'm guessing if I move my little cursor up here, you can see if I put it near 100, 100, I'm guessing it's going to draw a rectangle there. And it does. Now the last part, try to place the rectangle near the bottom right of the screen. And the easiest way to do that is to figure where that top left corner is, which is about 350, 350. You can see down here when I put my cursor there. That top left corner is where we place rectangles, and if it's a regular size rectangle and we place it at 350, 350, it should be in that bottom corner. Let's try it. There it is. So there's a rectangle down there. Okay, so now we'll move on. Now there is a video here, and I would suggest that you watch it. I'm just not going to show it in this part of the video. So a big part of Game Lab is understanding position. Remember, you can always turn on the grid or hover with the mouse to help you find the X and Y position, and you can just touch the little grid over here with your finger if you're using an iPad. Do this, place two rectangles exactly in the corners of the screen, just like the picture. Here's my picture over here, and we can see that we got a rectangle in the upper left and a rectangle in the bottom right. Well, we already know that if we draw a rectangle at 350, 350, that's going to put it in the bottom right. Okay, we can see that there. But moving this one up to the top left is pretty easy because we place rectangles by that top left corner, and our top left is 0, 0. So we're just going to change this from 100, 100 to 0, 0, and there we go. Our screen matches this screen. And for a couple of these activities, that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be matching your screen with the screen that is shown. Again, I'd suggest you watch this video to get more information. So here we go. You can make your rectangles different colors with fill. It will set the color for every shape that comes after it in the code. Do this. Look at the code that sets the color, change the color from blue to yellow, add a new square by dragging rect to the area, and then make your screen basically look like this picture. So if we run this right now, you will see that we're drawing two rectangles. They're going to be blue because this fill command happens before them. Of course, if I put it in the middle, only one of them will be blue. Okay, so I'm going to change this from blue to yellow. That does the first little bit, and next we need to draw a rectangle, I should say a square because they are squares, but squares are special rectangles. And I want to draw it on the grid here with one open space and put it right there. That is right at 100, 200 for the X and the Y. So I'll go 100, 200, and there we go. Looks like we got our screen matching that screen. I'll keep going here. Order matters. In Game Lab, it matters what order your code is in. New shapes are drawn on top of the ones that came before, covering up those shapes that are drawn first. You can see the difference when you use more than one color in your code. Look at the code that draws the two rectangles. The first is drawn red, the second is drawn blue. Change the rectangle's color to green. Change the order of the code so the green rectangle appears on the top. Okay, so let's check it out. There we go. We got a red and a blue, and we want that blue one to stay blue, but we want to change the red one to green, so we'll do that. That's our first step. So change the red rectangle's color to green. We've done that. Okay. Now change the order of the code so the green rectangle appears on top. Well, you notice that the green rectangle appears to be underneath the blue one. And that is because we're drawing the green one first. If we want the green one to appear on top of the blue one, we have to draw the green rectangle second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this green fill down to the bottom and the green rectangle down to the bottom. Okay, so I've just switched that order. I've made the blue rectangle the one that's drawn first and the green rectangle the one that's drawn second. So now our picture matches the instruction picture. Okay, and we did that by making sure that the blue rectangle is drawn first. That's at the top of the list. The green rectangle is drawn second. It's much easier to move this stuff around if you are using blocks. Of course, you could also cut and paste if you're using text. All right. I'll move on here to part 7. Now you can use ellipse to make a circle. Look at the code that makes the ellipse. Add a new ellipse of a different color. So we are using the fill command and the ellipse command. Fill teal, ellipse at 100, 100. Let's kind of make a guess first. I'm going to put my little crosshair at about 100, 100. Close enough. So that's where I'm guessing this circle will be drawn, and I'm wondering if the center of that circle will be on 100, 100, or if one of the corners of the circle will be at 100, 100. So let's run it, and it looks like the circle is drawn with the center at 100, 100, okay? So now we know that circles are placed by the center, and squares or rectangles are placed by the top left corner. All right, cool. So now we want to draw in another circle. It doesn't say where you have to put it, but it looks like this one is directly in the middle of the screen. So we will put in an orange, it looks like, and we'll put in an ellipse, and we're going to put that right at 200, 200, because that's right in the center. And there we go. Oh, hold on. There we go. Our screen looks like that. We've got a teal and an orange circle. Super cool. All right, move on to the next part. All right. So we've got 3 parts here: debug a car, debug a flower, debug a stoplight. And I'm just going to go through these really quick. So first with the car. Oops, the red part of the car is hiding the wheel. Let's see. Yeah, you can see the wheels appear behind the car, which means the wheels must have been drawn first. These rectangles must have been drawn second. So what we want to do is just draw those circles last. All right, here is our circles. We got our fill dim gray and our 2 ellipses. So I'm just going to move those all to the bottom of the code. And now we should be drawing the circles last. So if we reset, you'll see that now those wheels appear on top of those red rectangles. So that looks good. The flower. Okay, so we have got a flower here, and it looks like 2 petals are kind of blown away. And so what I would suggest is get your pointer out, and we want to take the circle that is at 300, 200, and probably move it to about 240, 180. So 300, 200, what we say, 240, 180, 240, 180. See if that worked. I mean, we can move it down a little bit, maybe 200. Okay, not bad. It's not perfect, but honestly, who cares? And then this one we want to move up. So this one looks like it's at about, what, 240, 300? Okay, so that's on number 5. We want to move that one up to about 220, 230. Okay, so 220, 230. Okay, again, it's not perfect, but close enough. All right. And finally, our stoplight. Okay, so the stoplight's all mixed up. Fix it so it looks at the picture on the right. So we got what looks like a bunch of black squares with different colored circles on top of them. So we definitely want to make sure that the squares are drawn first, or the rectangles are drawn first, and that they are black, and then the circles are drawn second. So let's take a look. All right, looks like everything is in order. The squares are drawn first. However, this fill code should probably move to the top to make, there we go, that makes that background black. And now we need to make sure that these colors, red, yellow, and green, there we go, are in the right order. Remember, we want the 3 rectangles to be black, so there's 1, 2, 3 rectangles. We got to put the fill black first. Then we want the top ellipse to be red, so we got to put the red first, then draw the ellipse. Then we want to have a yellow ellipse, so we do fill yellow first, and then draw the ellipse. Finally, fill green, draw that ellipse. That looks good. All right, so those are the challenge. Now we're going to move on to part number 9, and this is a test. So I am not going to show you how to do this because I'm going to have you do it on your own. But what we've got here is a picture. This is what we want, and this is what we got. Okay, so it looks like the circles are in the right place, but the square is not. It's also not the right color. So you are going to need to move that square and also make sure it is showing up as purple. like this. Okay, so I'll let you do that one on your own. Finish, I guess. Now for part 10 challenges, whoops, I don't want to go into that yet. There are 6 challenges and a free play. Okay, now my advice for you is you should do these. Okay, each one of these is pretty easy, but you should do them. Okay, that'll help you with understanding how to draw shapes in App Lab. All right, so good luck with lesson number 3. I hope this walkthrough helped you.